Hey, what's up guys, it's DoubleWinning, and today I'm bringing you a little episode of how to get out of silver. What I mean by that, if you guys checked out my most recent how to get out of ELO hell video, episode 12 about ranked anxiety, you know I covered how I did in my placements, which at the time I was like 4 and 5. I had an update though in the description saying that I did go 4 and 6, which placed me at silver 1. You guys know at the end of the preseason I had just dropped down to plat 5 and so I was a little disheartened that I was put into silver 1, but at the same time, like I kind of expected it. When I was doing the placements, I was pretty sure that if I went 5-5 I would be put into gold 5, so I wasn't really that surprised that I was placing the silver 1. So I figured a video, a couple videos of me going through silver might help you guys out to see what I do, to maybe, so you guys can kind of emulate it and kind of maybe, gain some LP for yourself. So right off the bat there, what you're going to see is I missed Shaco ganking for me, and that was just because I was really blind. And that's actually pretty detrimental to Shaco because one, Shaco is a really early ganker. He took Ignite because he wants to get those early kind of cheese kills. And he took a Doran's Blade. So all those things considered, it was actually really bad that I didn't help him out there, and it would have helped me out a lot in this lane. Because the Ziggs Fizz matchup is very heavily in Ziggs' favor in the beginning. And then, of course, later on, Ziggs can, kill him if he gets a, or not Ziggs, Fizz can kill him if he gets a good order of spells off. So knowing this, you'll notice that I didn't actually start with, the Doran's Ring like I usually do. If you watched my Fizz games recently, or if you check my history, I start Doran's Ring probably about 90% of that time. The reason I started Doran's Shield is because with Ziggs' really strong range auto harass, as well as just ranged harass in general, the regen plus the passive from it is going to help me a lot in just kind of staying alive until I can get to that point, that little power spike where I can actually beat Ziggs. So what I could have done is I could have maybe gone like Red Pod or even like Doran's Ring or something like that and really gone for like that level 2 cheese. The problem with that though is you're taking a risk. If Jarvan was there, or if Ziggs outplayed me, which I'm not going to disrespect him and say, because he actually told me after the game that he was that he's like a legitimate silver player, and I tried to give him some kind words because it wasn't really fair that he's getting placed against me, especially since I'm playing a champion I'm very comfortable with. So also a small little thing I did there, I really didn't want to push the wave because I wanted to make sure that I would get my cannon minion and he wouldn't, because it's actually going to give me a pretty serious XP advantage. So what I was talking about before is, I was playing like a little bit of a baby, but at this point now I can play as hard as I want because I have Ignite up, I have Flash up, I have full HP and mana. And he's level 5 and I'm level 6. So he's going to try and put down a satchel charge here. The problem is, he actually times it wrong. He's going to throw it on his satchel, but then he's actually going to get knocked up by my fish. So he's not going to be able to get the timing off on his satchel correctly. So you see there, he misses the timing on his satchel. I think he tried to satchel while he was knocked up in the air and then didn't notice that it didn't work. I had actually jumped to try and follow up, so when he did satchel, it wouldn't bump me out of the air, and then I'd be able to land on him and do damage. He actually did end up hitting 6, and then hitting me, and the tower hit me, but at that point, I had blown everything, and I just did what Fizz does best, and that is, all-inning and killing. So, with that, that's going to be able to snowball my lane pretty well here, and I made sure to push those creeps to the tower, and it looks like Ziggs throughout the Mia calls pretty hard there for me, but it doesn't really matter because I don't have ult, I don't have Ignite, and I'm low mana, so I wouldn't really be able to do anything. But you can see there, I just kind of held strong, and I knew that I was going to be kind of slapped around for the first couple minutes until I did get to level 6. But now you'll know that at this point I can really just all in anytime against Ziggs, and as long as I have my ult up, or as long as I have Ignite up or something like that. And he's going to really have to respect that. So it's going to kind of change the lane dynamic. He still can play this really smart and just kind of try and lay out ranged harass, especially since he does have that chalice. But you'll see here, I kind of pulled the creeps here because I wanted to make him pushed a little bit longer, just because I was getting my ult up here pretty soon. And I was pretty sure that I was going to be able to kill him again, and I was right. So I probably didn't have to flash there. Let's actually take a look here. I wanted to know if I needed to flash here. I don't think I did, but would be good to know. So, all right, let's take a look at his health, and take a look at how much of my grievous wounds was. Okay, so. Alright, so I had gotten one more auto off on him before I flashed, so I definitely didn't need to flash there. I think the Grievous, or my Sea Stone Trident would have taken him out. So I did, just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to let him get away there, so I did end up blowing the flash. Okay, so this is something cheeky that I did here. I thought maybe if I just focused on killing this pink ward, I could catch Kate looking at the shop, but she was smart. She didn't back by her tower. What I was going to do is I was going to just EQ her, and it would have been a pretty easy kill there since she only had 400 health with 42 MR. So my Q does 80 plus the Spell Blade, which would probably be like about 100 damage. So plus my 85, so it would have been like 300, and then I have like 250 there. So it would have been about just enough to kill her if I would have thrown in an auto attack there as well. So it didn't end up working. It was a little bit of a cheeky play, but sometimes you just kind of gotta go for those those little, just take that little extra time to try and do something that people won't really expect, as long as there isn't really much of a risk to it. One thing you'll notice is on our team we have a Pantheon and a Shaco. Pantheon and Shaco, as you guys know, don't scale the best in the late game. It's not like they don't scale into late game, it's just that they don't scale exceptionally well in the late game. So right here we have a little bit of a situation. Jarvan comes in for the counter gank when I'm coming up to gank Teemo. So what I should have done here is I probably should have E'd over him and then tried to kill the Teemo immediately. Instead of focusing this Jarvan here. He does flash away, and I'm actually not going to hit him with the E, I don't think. Yeah, so I miss him with the E. That's just a little bit of the range, not quite being enough there. So if I would have hit him with that, maybe we would have been alright here, but I'm actually going to die, and then Pantheon's going to get the kill on to J4, and then Teemo's just going to get away. So I was a little disappointed with how I played that, just kind of some mechanical issues from me there. Shaco's going to kill Ziggs, which just kind of shows that Ziggs is pretty far behind, and I'm actually going to come down to gank bottom. I don't have my ultimate up, but bottom has been having a little bit of a rough time. It's kind of even, but at the same time, Annie's an exceptionally strong support. I do see the trap here, and I think they might have seen Shaco, except for I'm dumb and I realized that there's a ward in there. I didn't know there was a ward in there when I first came in, so they definitely saw me coming in. So I just decided to get some free farm here. I don't want to waste my time too much. My ult is up in 10 seconds. Right there, that's actually me typing, telling them my ult is up in 10 seconds, and they're like, nah. And then we actually see both Ziggs and J4 head on down here. So I make sure to put a ward on that side of the wall just so we can get a general idea of where everyone is. And then we're kind of just dancing around with our what's in our hands. And so at this point we're just trying to get a decent call out here. And so at this point, how many times can I say at this point in one sentence? No, I just decided to go push mid. Because, if there's really nothing to do, you might as well just default to go farming some creeps until you can get a better idea of what you want to do. And plus, I know that I can push against this Ziggs just because he's 0-3, I'm 2-1, I'm exceptionally strong, and now I can head down bottom again. Because if you look here, we've got J4, we've got Kate, we've got Annie, and they're getting pretty aggressive, so they want to get a kill here. So I fire off the ult on J4, I'm going to Q, and I was a little late on the Q there. I thought maybe I'd be able to get him as he was moving, so I could kind of follow him a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because I get him with the E jump, and I'm able to kill him. And then Pantheon's coming down here to get the stun off. We pretty quickly decide we're going to ping here and decide that we're probably not going to get the Annie, so we decide that, or we're not going to get the Caitlyn, so we decide to just go on the Annie here in a second. Right as she leaves the bush, she's going to flash. Pantheon's going to spear and then uses stun. I'm going to Q her and then E out. Oh, actually, I'm going to E. That's probably not my best choice. Oh, I think I actually go for the Kate here, too. No, okay, so I don't. Excuse me. Oh, 1 second. Well, I'm really sorry for that. So I'm going to start Dragon up here. We asked Shaco to rotate. I take a lot of damage from Dragon, but it doesn't really matter. Shaco comes in, and we get ourselves a free Dragon. I really am sorry about the little coughing fit I had there. Yeah, so we're just trying to get some decent rotations in here. I tried to walk out of the way of the Ziggs ult, and Shaco's actually a hero here. I place down the ward, just kind of a cheeky thing I do. If someone's A-clicking, sometimes you can get them to attack the ward, and it's pretty funny. It works probably about 1 in 20 times, but with your 60-second ward, or at this point it's my 120-second ward. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So Shaco actually does save me there, but he does die. So I did say rest in peace. You die a hero. But at this, right now we really need to be getting these outer towers. So I think pretty soon here I'm going to call out that we need to focus on those. But right now I'm coming down to gank bottom. I get a nice ult off on Annie, and then I make sure to E, follow up to kill this Kate. She's going to barrier here in a second, and Jinx kites pretty well to make sure that she doesn't die to the Caitlyn. And then we're able to get a double kill there. I could have pushed there. It might have actually been a pretty good idea since I do have my Lich Bane, so I probably get some decent tower damage, but 1500, yeah, I probably could have gotten it, but I really wanted blue, so I decided to prioritize that. Maybe not my best choice, but that was just kind of an oversight, and you guys can just ignore that little E there. I always mess up that E when I'm trying to get more damage on the blue buff. My camera just messes up when I do it. I'm just going to farm a little bit more here. I think I'm working toward my Sorcerer's Boots, so I can get some spell pen as well as some movement speed. And then I think I'm going to get, what do I get with that Amp Tome? I think I use it for a, oh yeah, I get a Zhonya's later, because Zhonya's is really, really good for playmaking if you don't really have any team fight potential with Shaco and Pantheon. We really don't have good team fight, so having a Zhonya's to kind of try and make solo plays is really, really good, as well as trying to kind of bait out your cooldowns, and using your Zhonya's to try and kind of get another rotation of cooldowns is really, really effective on Fizz. So that's kind of something I would recommend, and Shaco freaking scumbags me so hard there. But yeah, if you're having trouble if you don't have a really good team fighting team, getting Zhonya's can really help you out. So I need to speed this video up. We're already 12 minutes in, and I'm 17 minutes into the game. I have such a problem with fast forwarding through the game just because I want to be able to explain everything I'm doing, but then I feel like the videos just kind of drag on way longer than they really need to be, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like watching super long videos. I like to watch, generally like 15 to 20 minute videos if they're full gameplay commentaries. So right there, they just get okay. So this is actually pretty important here. So what happens here is they get a pretty decent team fight off, and I tell them to push bot, and Thresh, which I'm not going to rewind again, but Thresh was backing in the bush, actually pinged him. I just said push, 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 push. We can get 2. This is really important here, because we definitely can get 2 if we're all pushing and we're all grouped as one, like without a doubt. We probably could have gotten it without Thresh, but just kind of setting a precedent that you always want to react to every team fight with a pushing mentality is really good to set up right off the bat. If you see there, if we would have just gotten the outer tower, you can get an outer tower whenever you want. You can get it through like the easiest split push of the lifetime. You can get it through like just accidentally sneezing on it. Outer towers don't really matter. Those second towers are kind of the playmaking towers. Once you get that half of the map kind of goes dark. If you get all the middle towers, their jungle goes dark. So that's a really big objective, is being able to get small skirmishes that allow you to get those inner towers, those middle towers, and then using your whole team to kind of push those inhibitor turrets. So that's one thing I have an advantage over some of you guys in these games, kind of is that I can crush my lane pretty wholeheartedly, and then try and command my team, making sure that they push and things like that. So you'll also notice that one thing, it just kind of happens with these lower elo games, is we really focus on killing way too much, which you'll see more often later, but also that's just kind of just showing how strong I am as Fizz. We focus on killing a little bit too much when we really could be sieging towers super easily, and that was just really poor mechanically for me. If I would have queued there, I probably would have made Jinx get hit by the bullet, but she probably would have died, so we'll just say I'm a hero. I am working toward the Zonias. I have about 420 gold right now, or like 450, I think. Yeah, and so I'll have it here pretty soon, and then that Zonias is really going to help me out, especially against a team with Annie J4, Caitlyn ult, Ziggs ult, Teemo Shrooms. Like, having Zonias is so freaking good, it can save my life 10 times over. So, one thing though, if you have Jinx with her Q max, with that, which I actually ask later, I ask her if she maxed her W or her Q when she was level 10. And she tells me she maxed her Q, so that's going to allow us to push towers really, really hard. So we're actually going to get some pretty decent damage onto this tower. I didn't get my rotation off as well as I would have liked there. Izonia's there to drop tower aggro, but I didn't notice the J4. So we probably could have gotten even more damage on the tower, but I just didn't do that very well. But if you have a Jinx who's got her Q maxed, if you have a Kog'Maw who's got his W maxed, if you have a Tristana after about level 10, 11, or you have a Caitlyn, you should be sieging those outer towers immediately, because you have such an advantage with that range that all you need to do is zone a little bit, and every creep wave get 4 to 5 hits, or 3 or 4 hits with your AD carry, and you can just slowly take out towers for pretty much free. So I got a little greedy here, missed my shark, and then Jinx actually takes out the J4 with his ult, and then we're gonna get. I thought I was gonna get this Ziggs here, but I mess up here. So I got a little greedy here. If I wouldn't have used my E there, I would have been able to get him, because I would have been able to just E over the wall instead of after he flashed. I thought I was going to be able to get the E quick enough, but that was just me not really respecting his ability there. So if you know they have flash, or you know they have like a escape like satchel charge, you need to just kind of save your E so that you can just follow up. Yeah, so right now we are just pushing the mid lane. I think me and Jinx push mid pretty hard here, because Pantheon's going to get caught out, and then we're going to get some serious damage. I think we actually do take the tower instead of just coming to fight. Yeah, so I ping the Nikes out of this tower, because if you look at Jinx, she's going to have almost 2.0 attack speed, as well as, that's another thing, like Jinx, ultimate tower destroyer for 2 reasons. 3 reasons, actually. If you are uncontested, you can crank up that auto attack speed with your minigun and just absolutely shred the tower. If you're being contested, you have 700 range with your rocket auto attacks. And once you get the tower, you have a free huge speed boost to just jet out of there. So all those things combined make Jinx probably the best tower sieger in the game. Caitlyn's pretty close, because she does have traps and exceptionally long range, but I mean, Jinx, just in terms of shredding towers, I would say like shredding towers, Jinx is super good. Sieging, definitely, I would give it to Kate though. I think right here I'm gonna get into a fight with Caitlyn that I really mess up. I'm kind of embarrassing. I shouldn't have gone for the shark right off the bat. What I should have done is I should have closed the gap and then got a point blank shark. But I do get a little greedy here, just because I know I'm really strong and I have my Zonias. So I'm going to Q, I'm going to auto, I'm going to E, but I forgot to use my E, or my W. If I would have used my W, she for sure would have been dead here, because I would have had 3 auto attacks with W on it, as well as I would have Zonias there, and she would have died. The cannon minion doesn't do quite enough work. She actually set down a trap on me, which was really good. Look at my E, look at my E. It's almost up, it's almost up, it's almost up. Oh! It was maybe 0.1 second, 0.2 at most off, but it doesn't really matter, because Jinx is going to get her with the rocket, but then Teemo's going to get a little kill on Thresh there. So I was kind of disappointed that I wasn't able to outplay the Kate there, but that was just me mechanically poor, my best champion, and then still getting outplayed by a Caitlyn, which is like the one person in the game I should be able to instantly nuke. Alright, give me a second, guys. Talking for 20 minutes straight can get a little bit tiring. So I'm going to go ahead and get the blue buff here. Blue buff is really, really important. My team is going to pick up a dragon. Dragons aren't really important. When you have this kind of lead and when you have Shaco Pantheon, you really need to be ending the game quickly, which I kept mentioning to them, because I wanted to be, and they started to acknowledge it. So we need to make big plays. Dragon are just kind of like gold extending plays. We already have a 10,000 gold leader, so 9,000 gold lead at this point. We have an inhibitor exposed. We have the bot inhibitor tower ready to be taken. Then we have that top turret ready to be taken as well. So I actually initiate kind of a bad fight here. So I'm actually going to kind of show how this fight goes down. So I throw the shark. I hit Teemo, which is fine, but for some reason I accidentally misclicked and used my E. What I should have done is I should have QW'd and then save my E to follow up. But we're actually going to be able to clean this fight up here pretty whole-handedly, just because we do have so much of a lead. And so I just tell him to keep going. We're going to go ahead and kill this inhibitor. For some reason, Jinx falls back here when we really don't need to. So me and Pantheon are just going to take this inhibitor. And I think we might actually, oh yeah, so this is where we get a little bit greedy. What we could have done is we could have rotated bot, maybe pushed in the creeps, or if I would have just not taken tower aggro, or maybe not done this, I would have been fine. If I would have gotten one more auto attack off on Teemo, he would have died by my hand, but at this point I'm just going to die. And we didn't actually get that Nexus turret, which was a little sad. And Jinx was kind of frustrating here because she never auto attacked. She just kept using her zap. When if she would have been auto attacking, she would have actually probably been able to kite and kill J4, just because he doesn't really have any damage, and she had red buff and she's Jinx. So that was a little frustrating there, but whatever, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we're going to call for Baron here. Pantheon starts it, and he says, oh, don't worry, Shaco will be here. Jinx is outside of the Baron pit because she has that range, so she can do that. We're hitting the Baron. I get a little worried here because we're going to get the Baron down to about 3,000 health, and then you're going to see J4 pretty close. So I actually stop attacking the Baron completely, and I go after J4 because I don't want this to get smite stolen. So I throw a shark out. I'm trying my best to buy time so Shaco can actually get in there for the smite, because Shaco and J4 are the same level, so it would actually be possible for J4 to steal. But at this point, he's already used his flag toss jump in, so there's no way he's going to get out unless he flashes out, which he didn't have up, as you guys can see clearly. So we do get a kill on him. So we are going to decide to push here. We kind of push in the middle a little bit just to kind of get those creeps rolling, and then we decide to siege this bottom turret, which doesn't go exactly well. I knew Annie was coming in here. She flashed, fired off the flamethrower. I was able to E-dodge it, but Pantheon is caught. Thresh is going to throw out the hook and actually catches the Annie, which, just note here, Annie is actually still pretty strong, even though she is just a support. I missed the Zonias on that ultimate there, so I kind of wasted the Zonias, which was kind of dumb. Shaco does a pretty good play there, where he puts down the box, and that was more of an insurance policy for me, just in case they decided to jump on my Zonia's golden body there. So I appreciate that. Shaco did pretty well this game. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of keep sieging the tower here. I'm gonna throw down the laughs, just because I'm enjoying the game. I go ahead and pop the Caitlyn's GA there, but wasn't my best play just because I ended up getting killed afterward. But Shaco kills the Teemo. Then they kill the J4 here in a second, I thought, but I was wrong. So yeah, they're just kind of pushing, and I could have swore she killed that J4, but oh, she fires off the rocket. Doesn't get the maximum distance time. You need at least 1 second of it in flight for it to get max damage, so she doesn't end up killing the Kate. And Pantheon goes on a grudge match to kill that Teemo, but he's not actually going to be able to get him there. So I decided to go ahead and get blue buff because blue buff is exceptionally important on me, because I think, yeah, so I don't have any cooldown reduction. Wow, that's weird. Pretty sure I had some cooldown reduction. Oh, I guess blue buff. Yeah, blue buff only gives you 10%. So I really need to get make sure I'm getting blue pots and blue buffs, just because having full cooldown reduction is incredibly important. Right here, the reason I got so aggressive here with using my E and all that is just because I knew I had Zonias. So having that second option to be invulnerable allows you to get a little bit greedy. And plus I knew that if we were in a position that if we were able to push this, we would be able to kill this tower. So I'm going to get a little greedy here in a second, I believe. Yeah, so I'm just kind of using my E to kind of try and bait, because I knew I had that Zonias. Right there, Teemo was able to kill me in my dash. You can actually camp Zonias while you're in the middle of the dash. So I might have been able to get it if I was like spamming Zonias, like right as I came out of it, but unfortunately I was not. And so that was that was kind of my bad there. And so we probably could have ended the game right there if I was a little mechanically better, which is kind of the story of this game, If you know, though, I haven't really been playing Fizz all that much recently. I've been playing a lot of top lane champs, and Fizz top just isn't really as strong as it used to be with the nerfs to his W. Like that essentially killed top lane Fizz. It actually really hurt jungle Fizz too. It basically kind of solidifies him only as a mid lane champ, which is really sad because I really enjoyed playing Fizz on all these kind of weird places. You lock in the Fizz and they're like, oh, like I'll pick something to beat a mid, and then you slap them up top lane and they're like, wait a second, what are you doing? But yeah, at this point we just kind of, oh yeah, so I was like, is this where I buy the blue pot? Oh no, I bought a red pot, right, because I needed a little bit more survivability. I can't remember what point it was in the game where I was like, all right, everyone, make sure you buy your items now, because we need to actually like synergize. Like buy your items now so we can all group, so it's not, because this is what happens a lot in low elo games, and even like medium elo games, like plat games, stuff like that, is one person will go back, and then 4 people will be pushing, and then that person will get back to the lane, so it'll be 5 people, and then they'll be like, oh, well, I need to go buy my LW. So they'll go back and they'll buy the, oh, well, I need to go buy my Randuins. And they'll go back, and then, oh, well, I need to buy my Bloodthirster. And then they'll go back. And so you never get that synergy. When if you just all backed at the same time, and then all came and grouped, the game would be over, 5 to 10 minutes quicker, and you would just have so much more synergy, and you would win a lot more games. But unfortunately, this is a solo queue, so you don't really have that luxury. So J4 is going to try and initiate on me here. I E out, and then we find ourselves in a situation where we can actually kind of fight here because Ziggs is out of place. J4 is going to come on pretty strong here, and I'm going to say, wow, that's not going to happen because I'm going to Q perfectly out of your Cataclysm. I'm going to drop a Shark, so he gets hit by it right as he comes up. He's going to flash, but he's still going to get knocked up because it sticks to him. And then my team just kind of cleaned up the rest of the fight. So I was like, okay, that's pretty sweet. But that's what you get for getting a 5v4 with no front line, because their front line is so busy trying to assassinate me when he has absolutely 0 damage. So I thought that Shark play or Earth play, was pretty cheesy there, because I just put the Shark wherever he was going to be when the GA comes up, and I think I kind of thought of that subconsciously just because Kate earlier in the game had trapped me when I had Zonias, and I was like, no. Also, I get kind of cheesed here. I'm like, oh no! Like I eat onto the Ziggs getting ready to kill him, and then he got me with the Zonias cheese, so I Zonias cheesed him. But then I was like, Kate, you have your GA? How greedy are you? Because you know who I am, right? DoubleWinning! Pop the GA! And I E out before the fountain gets me. I probably could have timed this a little better and just been able to kill her. But then I was like, well, actually, I'm going to put the old sweeper lens on you, and you're going to get greedy, so I'm going to kill you. And that's the end of the game. If you guys want to see more games of me playing at this silver level as I climb my way back to gold, be sure to leave a like rating, comment below, because also slow motion explosion. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me. I'm trying to get up more videos, and as always, guys, stay classy and keep winning.